Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Juta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavansam Shri Rupam Chakrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tvam Sadivam Shadaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam.
Hare Krishna, Suvarnagaura Hari Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, am I audible?
Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhuji, be audible. So, welcome all for the Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Today we'll hear the nectar from Canto 5, Chapter 18, Text 30-33 from His Grace Suvarnagaura Hari Prabhuji. Over to you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam 5.18.33. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवती नैष्टिकी कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः. The verse is as follows. यस्मिन्नसङ्ख्येय विशेषनाम रूपाकृतौ कविभिः कल्पितेयम् सङ्ख्यायया तत्त्वदृशापनीयते तस्मै नमः साङ्ख्य निदर्शनायते इति. Yasmin, in you, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Asankhyeya, innumerable, Vishesha, particular, Nama, names, Rupa, forms, Akrito, possessing bodily features, Kavibihi, by great learned persons, Kalpita, imagined, Iyam, this, Sankhya, number, Yaya, by whom, Tattva, of the truth, Drisha, by knowledge, Apaniyate, is extracted, Tasmai, unto him, Namaha, respectful obeisances, Sankhya Nidarshanaya, who is the revealer of this numerical knowledge, Te, unto you, Iti, thus. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. O my Lord, your name, form, and bodily features are expanded in countless forms. No one can determine exactly how many forms exist. Yet you yourself, in your incarnation as the learned scholar Kapiladeva, have analyzed the cosmic manifestation as containing 24 elements. Therefore, if one is interested in Sankhya philosophy, by which one can enumerate the different truths, he must hear it from you. Unfortunately, non-devotees simply count the different elements and remain ignorant of your actual form. I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. Purport. Philosophers and scientists have been trying to study the entire cosmic situation and have been theorizing and calculating in different ways for millions and millions of years. However, the speculative research work of a so-called scientist or philosopher is always interrupted when he dies, and the laws of nature go on without regard for his work. For billions of years, changes take place in the material creation, until at last the whole universe is dissolved and remains in an unmanifested state. Constant change and destruction, bhutva bhutva praliyate, is perpetually going on in nature. Yet the material scientists want to study natural laws without knowing the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the background of nature, as Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita. Maya dhakshena prakritihi suyate sacharacharam hetu nanena kaunteya jagadvi parivartate. This material nature is working under my direction, O son of Kunti, and it is producing all moving and non-moving beings, unmoving beings. By its rule, this manifestation is created and annihilated again and again. Now the material creation is manifest. Eventually it will be annihilated and remain for many millions of years in a dormant state. And finally, it will again be created. This is the law of nature. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurve Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम् वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणे प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्यनाम्ने गौरतसे नमः हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरो दीनतारिणम्। Hare Krishna. So I welcome all of you for today's morning Srimad Bhagavatam class in the Nityam Bhagavata Sevya forum. And today we are discussing from the 5th canto, 18th chapter, which is entitled The Prayers of the Residents of Jambudvipa. So Jambudvipa is an island with 9 different regions. So Jambudvipa is divided by mountains into these 9 different regions. And in every region there are devotees and there is a form of the Supreme Lord residing in that area. So the devotees offer prayers to the Supreme Lord. So today we are seeing how Ariyama is offering prayers to Sri Kurma. So Kurma Deva is the presiding deity in this region of Hiranmaya Varsha. Okay. So there are 9 different Varshas and one of the Varsha is called Hiranmaya Varsha. And in this Varsha, Kurma is the presiding deity and he is worshipped by his devotees, especially Ariyama. So Ariyama offered wonderful prayers, and today's verse is the last prayer which he is offering to Kurma Deva. So Kurma is an amazing avatar of the Lord who comes to hold the entire universe on his back. If you see the universal structure as given in the Vedic cosmology, the entire Brahmanda is divided into half, lower half, upper half. Lower half is covered with water. And the upper half, the universal planets are residing. So on this water of Garbhodak Sagara, Kurmadeva is resting. He is in a divine slumber. And above him there is Anantashesha. And on the hood of Anantashesha is resting the entire universe, the entire Bhumandala. So Kurmadeva gives stability to the universe. Kurmadeva also gives stability to our bhakti. If somebody is feeling that his bhakti is unstable, there is upar niche ho raha hai, sometimes high, sometimes low. There is unsteady progress in Krishna consciousness. So then one should pray to Kurmadeva. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur once found a Kurma deity while excavating for building a temple. So he gave that Kurma deity to Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur to worship. So anybody who worships Kurma Deva becomes stable in bhakti. And Kurmadeva, he is carrying the weight of the entire universe on his back, but he doesn't feel any pain. During Samudra Mantana, he carried the weight of the entire Mandarachala mountain, which is solid gold. Gold is heavy, and mountains are heavy. But a mountain of solid gold is heavier. So such heavy mountain is resting on him, and they are churning. So Kurmadeva is feeling as if somebody is scratching his back, right, massaging his back. So that's the kind of feeling he was getting. Because Kurmadeva is so strong and so big that the weight of the mountain doesn't mean anything to him, right? So he's such a powerful avatar of the Lord. So this Kurmadeva is residing in Hiranyamayarsha. And Arima is offering the prayer today. And in today's prayer, what he says is, "O my Lord, your name, form, and bodily features are expanded in countless forms. No one can determine exactly how many forms exist. Yet you yourself, in your incarnation, as the learned scholar Kapila, analyzed cosmic manifestation as containing 24 elements." So my first point is that we cannot count the glories of the Lord. We cannot count the incarnations of the Lord. In the first canto, third chapter, Suta Goswami is telling that avatara hi asankhya. There are unlimited avatars of the Lord. After listing the 24 prominent incarnations, Suta Goswami says, avatara hi asankhya, unlimited avatars are there. They are like streams entering into the ocean. So you cannot count the number of streams which are entering into the ocean. Similarly, we cannot count the avatars of the Lord, which are coming from Krishna and who also who reside within Krishna, right? So Nana Avataranam Nidhanam Bhijam Avyayam. And Supreme Lord is also the Nidhanam Bhijam Avyayam. He is the storehouse of all the avatars. And whenever the suitable time comes for a particular avatara, that avatara appears, again disappears, again appears, and again disappears. In this way, the Lord keeps manifesting and unmanifesting. So the point here is we cannot count the number of incarnations of the Lord. So better to say the word unlimited. Unlimited. That which you cannot count means it's unlimited. There are finite avatars of the Lord, but we cannot count them. So it's unlimited avatars of the Lord. So, but Lord appeared as Kapila Deva. Same Kurma, same Krishna appeared as Kapila Deva to explain about this material creation. See, Lord is difficult to understand, and Lord's devotees and Lord's creation is even more difficult to understand, right? So, like for example, this metal world, we see so many things in this metal world, we can't even fully understand this material world. Scientists are still trying to understand what is an atom, isn't it? So, Dalton said atom is indivisible, and Thomson said no, atom is divisible into positive and negative. Rutherford said atom is, yes, positive and negative charges are there, but positive charge is concentrated in the center and negative charge is all around. Right? And Bohr said yes, negative charge is all around, but they're in specific orbitals, sp, d. So, and somebody else came and said, no, in the atom also, in the nucleus also, there are subatomic particles. Subatomic particles, apart from electron, proton, neutron. So there are positrons, there are quarks. So there are finer and finer and finer atoms. So more we study material science, more one gets bewildered how deep it is, how fine it is, how intricate it is, right? When you study the micro world, it's amazing. When you study the macro world, that's also amazing, right? There are galaxies, there are we have access to only one galaxy, but other galaxies we can't even imagine. Even our own galaxy, we cannot even imagine how big it is. So Lord's creation is amazing. Keshava Tua Jagata Vichitra. Hey Keshava, hey Krishna, your creation is amazing, right? So scientists, when they study this creation, they should actually glorify the Supreme Lord. The purpose of studying the creation of this world is to glorify, to understand the glory of the Supreme Lord. That's the purpose. But if scientists, they study this nature, this creation, but do not come to the conclusion that Supreme Lord is the creator of everything, then their study is all waste. Once, Prabhupada was discussing with the disciples, and then one disciple said that, Prabhupada, one scientist is doing a research on how the grass grows, the green grass, how it is growing gradually, slowly, day by day, inch by inch, it grows. So that's the research. And Prabhupada simply said, oh, what is the use of such a research? Even if you don't research, the grass is growing. Right? It's not that only after you understand how it is growing, it will start growing. No. Even if we don't research, it is still growing. So the point is that instead of studying about grass, study about who created this grass. Study about the creator who created the amazing this grass. You put a seed and it grows. Right? You cut it, still it grows. Right? It's nice food fodder for the animals, cows. So study about the creator, not the creation, isn't it? So even other scientists, they study the human body. They study the eye, they study the brain, they study the kidney, livers, and all the organs. And all these organs, they are working so in such a coordinated way. Suppose eye sees gulab jamun, the tongue wants gulab jamun, the leg walks towards the gulab jamun, hand picks up the gulab jamun and puts it on the tongue. Isn't it? All the senses are in sync with each other. They are cooperating with each other. All the organs are helping each other, cooperating with each other. If one organ has any difficulty, the other organ support, isn't it? So they try to help to recover the body, recuperate. So instead of studying about the human body, study about the creator of the human body. It's not wrong to study about the human body, but one should also study about the creator who made this universe. And for example, our eye itself is so complex, that just by studying the functioning of the eyes, one can come to the conclusion that this is not by chance. The eyes are not created by chance. They are created by the Supreme Lord with his supreme brain. Whenever you see any intelligence in this world, it means there is an intelligent person behind that. Suppose you see an intelligent car. Nowadays, even self-driven cars are coming. So you don't need a driver. You just sit in and tell the location where you want to go. It will take you to the location. So it's intelligence, but it has been given that intelligence. Right? That's called artificial intelligence. Right? Robots are not intelligent on themselves, but they are actually given intelligence. They are working with borrowed intelligence of the humans, isn't it? So, but God has given us the original intelligence, right? By birth, we have got the intelligence, how to survive, how to eat, how to keep ourselves fit, right? So, all the intelligence God has given us by birth. So, one should see the intelligence and glorify the creator of that intelligence or the supreme intelligence. Buddhe buddhimadam asmi, right? In Bhagavad Gita, he says, I am the intelligence of the intelligent. Balam balavadam chaham kam raga vivarjitam. I am the strength of the strong divide of passion and attachment. So in this way, Krishna is telling us that this creation is amazing, and this amazing creation is done by me. So study about me. So Kapila Deva is one such in avatara who propounded the philosophy of Sankhya. And Sankhya philosophy involves studying of all the material elements and coming to the conclusion that we have to worship the Supreme Lord, the creator of those elements. There is another Sankhya called as atheistic Sankhya philosophy, which does not accept the creator. They say that creation happened and now we are here in this creation, we have to just enjoy, we have to live. But they don't accept the hand of God in this creation. So atheistic Sankhya is rejected by the devotees, and the theistic Sankhya, as spoken in Srimad Bhagavatam, is accepted by the devotees. Right? So Kapila Deva at length has spoken this Sankhya philosophy in third canto to his mother Devahuti. So Prabhupada further writes here, therefore, if one is interested in Sankhya philosophy by which one can enumerate the different truths, he must hear it from you. Right? Sankhya philosophy kisse sunna hai? We have to hear from Lord Kapila himself. Unfortunately, non-devotees simply count the different elements and remain ignorant of your actual form. I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. So this is a translation of the verse. So let's discuss something about what is Sankhya, because it is being mentioned here. Sankhya word comes from the word Sankhya. Sankhya means to count. And what do we count? We count the material elements. Right? How many elements are there in this world, in this creation? We tried counting. Okay. Elements, in the sense, I don't mean the periodic table elements. Right? Periodic table has more than 100 elements. That's not the Sankhya. That is kind of modern scientific Sankhya. But traditionally, what Sankhya talks about is counting the basic elements, the fundamental building blocks of this world, counting them, identifying them, studying their characteristics is called Sankhya. So the first 5 elements in this creation are earth, water, fire, air, ether. They are Pancha Mahabhuta, and that we can see everywhere. That our body is made of earth. There's water element also. In the stomach, you can find some heat. So that is fire element. So Tejo Vari Mridam Yatha Vinimayo Yatra Trisargo Mrisha. So this whole bhautika structure, the metal structure, is made of Tejo Vari Mridam, fire, water, and earth. So these 3 elements make the building blocks of material world. And there are others also. Bhumi Rapo Analavai Kham Mano Buddhi Revacha. Vayu and Kham, air and space. So 5 Panchamahabhutas. And then there are 5 Tanmatras. Tanmatras are the sense object. Shabda, Sparsha, Rasa, Rupa, Gandha. They are the 5 Tanmatras. And there are the 5 senses which try to enjoy the sense objects. Right? Eyes, ears, nose, tongue, skin. They are the senses which try to enjoy these 5 Tanmatras. And then there are 5 working senses, which are called as hands, legs, mouth, genitals, and the rectum. So these are the 5 karmendriyas, 5 jnanendriyas, 5 tarmatras, and then 5 panchamahabhutas. Total, it makes up 20. Right? 20. Now there are other subtle things. Till now, these are all gross things. Now there are subtle things. What are subtle things? Subtle items are mana, buddhi, ahankara, mind, intelligence, and ego. So these 3, when added to this 20, becomes 24. Sorry, 23. 24th item is Mahatattva. So Mahatattva is the 24th element. So in total, there are 24 elements in this material world. So counting, analyzing and counting the metal elements and studying their characteristics is called as Sankhya philosophy. After studying these 24 elements, then we have to research. Okay, from where this consciousness is coming? Is earth conscious? Is water conscious? Is air conscious? Is the mind conscious? Is the intelligence conscious? Where is this consciousness coming from? So then, neti, neti, neti. No iti, no iti, no iti. Okay, consciousness is not from matter or earth or water, fire, ether, sense, not even mind, intelligence. So neti, no iti, no iti, no iti. So then finally he comes to conclusion, okay, there is another element which is the cause of consciousness. So all these 24 elements are not conscious. And there is a 25th element from which the consciousness comes, and that is Atma, the soul. The soul by nature is part and parcel of God. And because God, Krishna, is supremely conscious person, we all who are also part and parcel of Krishna, we also have got consciousness, Chetana. So Krishna's Chetana is supreme consciousness, super consciousness, and our Chetana is tiny consciousness. Krishna's consciousness is like ocean, and our consciousness is like drop of water. So he is unlimited, and we are limited. So by Sankhya philosophy, one understands that the 25th element is the cause of consciousness. So then 26th element is called as Paramatma, super consciousness. And then you can go on. Some say there are 25 elements, some say there are 27 elements. Right? When you add Bhagavan, then it's again another element. So in this way, there are material elements and there is spiritual element. Spiritual element is Atma. And also, Supreme Lord is a supremely spiritual entity. So in this way, we analyze all the material elements and try to find out from where the consciousness comes. Naiti, 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 iti. Not this, not this, not this, but this. So that's how we should understand the scientifically. Right? In Taittiriya Upanishad, there's one shloka which says, he defines God. Yato va imani bhutani jayante येन जातानि जीवन्ति tat prayanti tat अभिसंविशन्ति, right? Tad brahma tad vijñāsa. So this Upanishad says that yato va imani bhutani jayante, from whom the whole material world comes and all the living entities also come. Yato va imani bhutani jayante. Then ena jatani jivanti, by whom these living entities are maintained. He is also Supreme Lord. He is the Supreme Lord. Ena jatani jivanti tat prayanti, they are maintained by him, and then they enter into him. Tat abhisamvishanti, tat brahma, tat vijñāsa. That is Brahman, and we should try to inquire about that Brahman. So, actually, this is a conversation between Guru and disciple in the Upanishad, and then the Guru says like this: you go and search Tad Vijñāsa. So he goes and then try to find out. Then he comes back and says, Guruji, I saw that people are living by food. They eat food and they're surviving. So I see that Annam is Brahman. Anna is Brahman. So that's why some people call Anna Brahma. According to their consciousness, people live because of food. Food is sustaining their body. So that's why Anna is Brahman. So then is Annadeva Bhutani Jayanti, Annadeva Bhutani Jivanti, then it's Avisamvishanti. So he says Annam is everything. Then Guru says, okay, you're good. So you go ahead again, do more tapasya, more research. Then he goes and finds out, actually, he finds out that actually it's because of prana, right? Prana is more subtle than Anna. So then he comes back and says, prana deva bhutani jayante, right? So prana is sustaining the life of people. And Guru says, okay, you go ahead, do more research, more tapasya. Then he comes back and says, okay, mana, it's actually mind that is sustaining us, is maintaining us. Then again he says, go out, again do research, do more tapasya, more sadhana. You'll understand the truth. Then he comes back and says, well, actually it is vijnana. It is the soul, which is the cause of this maintenance and sustenance. Says, no. Actually, it is the Supreme Lord who is maintaining everything. So then he comes to the conclusion that Supreme Lord Brahman, and Brahman can refer to Atma also, and it can refer to Supreme Lord also. So that Supreme Lord is maintaining all of us. That super consciousness is maintaining all of us, creating us, maintaining us, and also when pralaya happens, at that time everything enters back into him, the prayanti. So in this way, he comes to the right conclusion. So this called niti. Is it this or is it that? No, not this, not this, not this. Finally, this. Okay. Atma is cause of my consciousness and Paramatma is the cause of the universal consciousness. So in this way, he comes to the conclusion. So analyzing like this is called as Sankhya. But analysis like this takes a lot of time, a lot of energy, and then we may not come to the right conclusion also. Right? Imagine you have to find out truth based on our own empirical research. How difficult it will be. Once Prabhupada disciple came and asked Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada, I am doing a painting of Paramatma. Hand canvas painting of Paramatma. Please tell me whether Paramatma is standing or is sitting. And Srila Prabhupada replied, oh, that will take you many, many lifetimes to understand. And the devotee was shocked. Then Prabhupada replied, but I will tell you now, as I know. Paramatma is standing. With his one leg ahead, he is standing, holding Shankar-Chakra Gadadharma. And then he doesn't blink his eye. He's always looking with open eyes. उपद्रष्टा अनुमंता भर्ता भोक्ता महेश्वरः परमात्मेति चाप्युक्तो देहेस्मिन् पुरुषपरः. So that is Paramatma in the heart. So in this way, by empirical research, I was taking the point, but empirical research, we can't understand the supreme truth. But when we approach a bona fide Acharya like Srila Prabhupada can tell us the truth. Paramatma is standing. Now, Paramatma is there in our heart. Can we see? We can't see. He's there, but we can't see. But we can see through the sound vibration of spiritual master. When we hear through their ear, through their mouth, right? From their mouth, Bhavatpatam Voja Mahan Mukhachido, from the lips, lotus lips of the pure devotees, when we hear Harikatha, that Harikatha enters our ears and touches our consciousness, and then we can actually see that Paramatma is inside our heart. But unless that awakening happens, we can't see. Paramatma is hidden, God is hidden, the truths are hidden. So if you want to know the truth, we have to hear Tadvidhi Pranipadeya Pariprashnena Sevaya Upadekshanti Te Jnanam Jnaninas Tattvadarshina. And Shishrusho Shraddha Dhanasya Vasudeva Katavaji Syan Mahat Sevaya Vipra Punya Tirtha Nishivana. So by constantly hearing and serving the great sages, one can get these realizations. So without serving and without hearing from bona fide Guru, there is no chance to make advancement in bhakti. So instead of depending on empirical ways, one should depend on the bona fide acharyas and bona fide scriptures to understand the truth. Unfortunately, non-devotees simply count the different elements and remain ignorant of your actual form. I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. Right? Some people think that this material form of the Lord is real. This Brahmanda is real. No, this is actually temporary. So we should not get attracted to this temporary manifestation of the Supreme Lord. We should actually get attracted to the personal form of the Supreme Lord. So less intelligent people, they worship the universal form. But those who are more intelligent, they worship the personal form. Yam Shama Sundaram Achintya Gunaswarupam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Right? So devotees, they worship the two-handed supreme form of the Lord. But those who are less intelligent, they worship the universal form of the Lord. So in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 11, there is an incident where Arjuna asks Krishna, please can you show me your universal form? And Krishna says there, Arjuna, you can't see with your eyes. You have to get another eyes to see this form. So then he gives Divyam Dadami Te Chakshuhu. Right? I'm giving you this divine eyes to see. Divine eyes, the word divine eyes here means Arjuna already had the eyes of pure devotee, Premanjana Charita. Right? He was very pure. He was able to see the 200 form and appreciate the form. But in order to see the universal form or Vishwarupa, he had to lower his vision. He had to come down to a lower platform to see that. So Krishna gave him heavenly eyes to see the universal form. But with eyes of bhakti, one can see the Krishna form, Shama Sundar form. So some people have misconception in this story. They think that Arjuna actually got divine eyes. Vishwarupa is more difficult to see. So Arjuna had to get divine eyes to see Vishwarupa. Two-handed Krishna's form anybody can see. Like this some people think. But Prabhupada writes in the purport, no. One may see the two-handed form, but one may not understand that he is Supreme Lord. To understand this two-handed form to be the Supreme Lord, one should have the mercy of the Lord. Only then one should be qualified. Only then one can see the Lord and appreciate Lord's greatness. But those who are less intelligent, they need something big to consider, to accept him as God. Like for example, some God has 10 hands. Bhagavan, namaskar karte. Right? Somebody has many heads, many hands, very big, very tall. And people consider him to be God and influential. But 200 Krishna form playing on the flute. How is he God? How can he be God? But Shastra says he is God. Why? Because natasya karyam karanam cha vidyate natat samascha drishyate parasya shaktir vividhaiva shruyate swabhaviki jnana balakriya cha. Right? So this verse explains that God has no work to do. Tasya na karyam karanam cha vidyate. There is no work for him and there is nothing which he need to do to survive. Right? He doesn't have to work. Only thing God does is he enjoys. He enjoys with his devotees. So you know that famous story. One foreigner came to India. He went to different temples, and then he was searching who is God, who is God. And first he came to a temple where one goddess was there with tongue outside, and then holding many hands and weapons in the hands. He just did namaskar and went. Another place, another god sitting on a peacock with bow and arrow. He offered namaskar to Kartikeya, then went ahead. Then like this he saw many devatas, and finally came to one temple where the deity was standing playing flute. Then his first reaction was, he is God. He is God. Why? Because he has no work to do. He's just enjoying. Shiva is putting the shloka. So he has no work to do. He's just enjoying. And how the works are happening? The work is happening through his energies. Parasya Shaktir Vividhaiva Shruyate. There are so many energies. Swabhaviki. Jnana Balakriya, Jnana Shakti, Kriya Shakti, Ichha Shakti. Like this, there are so many energies of the Lord, and these energies, they are doing all the work. Okay? And Krishna is enjoying. Just like the CEO of a company, he enjoys. And there are others in the company, like owner of the company, he enjoys. He just counts money. But there are others, managers and employees, they work hard. They work hard and the owner enjoys. Similarly, in this material world, his energies work hard, but Krishna enjoys. Right? So energies are also very expert. Chaye vayasya bhunani vibharti bhuta. They're like shadow. Like shadow moves as soon as you move your hand. Similarly, as soon as Krishna desires the energies, execute that desire instantly. So that's how the energies are in full control of the Supreme Lord. So we should understand that Krishna has no work to do. That's why he is God. Talking about less intelligent people, they consider universal form to be God, but actually there is mudha, less intelligent, alpamedasa. Right? And they also worship devatas, different devatas. Ekatvena, pratatvena, bhoda vishwato mukham in Bhagavad Gita 9th chapter. You have read that? Right? Ekatvena, pratatvena, bhoda vishwato mukham. And some people worship themselves as God. That's ekatvena. I am God. Aham gropasana. And pratatvena. And they were consider everything to be God. This tree is God. And then this mountain is God. Devatas. They worship the same God in different forms. Pratatvena. Then Bahuda Vishwato Mukham. They also worship universal form of the Lord. Then there's a different people worship Lord in different forms. But the ultimate form is worshipping Krishna in Shyam Sundara form. Manmanabha madbhakto madhyajima namaskuru mami vishyasi satyam te pratijane priyosi me. Krishna talks about this. Manmana, he is not telling, think of Brahman, Brahman mana or Paramatma mana, he is not telling, he is saying, Man mana, Mat mana, think of me. Bhav madbhakto, become my devotee, Krishna is saying. Right? Madhyaji, worship me. Mam namaskuru, offer obeisance to him. By doing this, you will surely come to spiritual world. So that's the promise Krishna is giving. So one should be attracted to the personal form, not to the other forms of the Lord. So philosophers and scientists have been trying to study the intercosmic situation and have been theorizing and calculating in different ways for millions and trillions of years. Right? However, the speculative research work of so-called scientists or philosophers is always interpreted by when it dies, and the laws of nature go on without regard for its work. Sometimes scientists begin a research, they don't complete. They die and go. Research remains like that only, but the world continues. Right? The world doesn't stop for his research. The world is going on. And some people, they try to do research, waste their time. But intelligent people, they read Gita Bhagavatam and surrender to Krishna. And the purpose of all knowledge is ultimately to surrender to Krishna. So that is fulfilled. So the scientist's research is of no use. That's what Prabhupada is writing here. And another nature of the material world is bhutva bhutva praliyate. It's created, annihilated. It's created and again annihilated. Ratriagame praliyante prabhavanti aharagame. At the night time of Brahma, there is destruction. And in the daytime of Brahma, there is creation. And up to Swargaloka, and everything is submerged in the night of Brahma. And again in the daytime Brahma, the water level comes down and then there is again creation. So this creation, destruction is happening. So why should we give such importance to this material world when it's ultimately going to be destroyed? So instead of giving importance to this material world in material forms, one should give importance to the elevation of the soul from material world to the spiritual world. That is intelligence. So Prabhupada said, of course Prabhupada also quoted Jesus, no? Jesus once said that this material world is like a bridge. Don't make the home on the bridge. Means don't try to settle permanently on the bridge. Purpose of bridge is to cross from this side to that side. We don't put a tent and stay there. Similarly, we should cross over this material world to spiritual world. We should not make our permanent residence here in this material world. In Kannada also, there's one song. Allide namma mane, illi bande summane. My real home is in spiritual world. I came here for time pass. Summane. But actually, instead of staying here, one should go back to spiritual world, our real, eternal home. Okay, so we have to start our journey to go back to Godhead. And how to begin that journey? By doing sadhana bhakti. By doing sadhana bhakti, one gets the qualification to enter the spiritual world, especially the chanting of the holy names of Hare Krishna mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This transcendental sound vibration, which is not different than Krishna, is so powerful that anybody who chants this mantra can actually realize God. Of course, one should chant without offenses. When offensively one cries out the holy name purely, then you will see that Krishna consciousness awakens. Just like a sleeping man is awakened when you shout his name, when you clap and make sound, immediately the sleeping man gets up. Similarly, when you say Hare Krishna, then immediately the sleeping soul wakes up. God, what is this? What is this? Then the holy name purifies his heart, and then he starts inquiring, well, what is the goal of life? What should I do now to attain that goal of life? So in this way, he begs for knowledge, and then when we give knowledge, he develops further and further and further. So in this way, one should try to go back to God by following the process of sadhana bhakti, and especially chanting holy names and hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. Nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavate sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. Right? So by regularly hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, one gets very steady faith, right, in Krishna. And after one gets fixed up in Krishna, then tada rajastamo bhava kamalobhadayashte chetetar anavidham stitam satte prasidhati evam prasanna manaso bhagavad bhakti yogatah bhagavad tattva vijnana mukta sangasya jayate. Right? विद्यते हृदय ग्रंथि छिद्यन्ते सर्व संशया क्षीयन्ते चास्य कर्माणि दृष्ट एव आत्मनि ईश्वरे. It's very gradual. First is hearing, then purification of heart, then destruction of tamoguna and rajaguna, then gradual awakening of Shuddha Sattva in the heart. Right? Then all the knots are cut. Vidyate hridaya granthi, chiddante sarva samshaya, kshiyante chasya karmani, drishta eva atmanishwari. So one can see the Supreme Lord and the soul within the heart. So this is a process which Srila Prabhupada has given us, and Bhagavatam is also speaking of this, right? Yeah, and now the material creation is manifest. Eventually, it will be annihilated and remain for many millions of years in a dormant state, and finally, it will again be created. This is the law of nature. So both pradiyate. Similarly, our body is also not created. It will stay for some years. It will again die. Just like this world is created, it is maintained and it is destroyed. Similarly, the body of living entity is also destroyed at one point of time. So this is called Nitya Pradaya. Every day, every moment, there is Pradaya happening within our own body, but it is imperceivable. Very difficult to perceive, but it is happening subtly. But this universe, it happens when the universal destruction happens, then nobody survives. Everybody goes into the shelter of Vishnu. And in next creation, they are again brought back to the bodies. So there is big pradaya, there is smaller pradaya, and smallest pradaya. So like different grades of pradaya are also there. So that pradaya, which happens moment by moment, is called Nitya Pradaya, and it is happening. So one should be conscious of this. That death can come at any moment. Right? First of all, the hairs become old, then teeth start becoming loose, then teeth fall down, then eyesight goes weak, then the stomach digestion power goes down, liver starts failing, kidney starts working at low efficiency, then and what? The body started dwindling already, and at one point of time we will die. So being conscious of this fact, we should try to do devotional service to Krishna and glorify Krishna consciously. So before death comes, we should be purified. So, so that's why we should perform sadhana bhakti seriously. Anyway, so these are some points which I wanted to share today's shloka and purport. So today Arema offered praise to Kurma and also to Kapila, who propagated Sankhya philosophy. And we discussed briefly about what is Sankhya, counting and analyzing the material elements. But the goal of Sankhya is to come to the point of understanding that there is Atma, there is Paramatma, and one has to serve the Supreme Lord through all his senses. So this philosophy is called actual Sankhya. Atheistic Sankhya philosophy, it rejects God. It accepts matter, but it rejects the hand of God. So that's why atheistic Sankhya philosophy is rejected by Vaishnavas. So then we discussed about how one should try to serve the Supreme Lord, understand the urgency that pralaya is going to happen. So bhuta bhuta pradiyate, it's created and annihilated. So one should become serious so that one goes back home, back to our in this very life. And one more additional point we discussed was that who is God? God is the person from whom everything comes, everything is maintained, and everything is just fed back into him. So, and God has no work to do, but his energy is to carry out all his duties. So these are some of the points which we discussed today. So now open up for discussion. If anybody has any comments or questions, maybe we can take up.
Prabhuji, thank you so much for the wonderful class in the morning. I would request devotees to unmute and, if there are any comments or questions, please raise them.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam. Thanks for the wonderful class, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
So discussed about this Brahma Pucham, no Prabhu. It comes in 13th chapter Bhagavad Gita. Actually, I did not understand properly, Prabhu. Should we take it as different grades of realization of the Lord, or
Yeah,
how?
different grades of realization of the Lord. Some people say, okay, Anna is sustaining the life. Some say Prana is sustaining the life. So that's how koshas come, pancha koshas. Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya, and Anandamaya. In this way, there are different 5 koshas. It depends upon his perception of this world.
So we are directly realizing the God as Bhagavan, no Prabhu?
Yeah, highest, Anandamaya.
Yeah. So there are some people who still think Prana as the Lord.
Yeah, they think, some people think. But when they meet Vaishnavas who are preaching Krishna consciousness, then they will change. Right?
Okay. Thank you, Prabhu.
They will gradually change.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam.
Prabhuji, one small clarification I wanted, Prabhuji. When it said, Srila Prabhupada says that one can see the Lord. Everybody sees the two-handed form of the Lord, but cannot understand that, he is the Supreme Lord. So that is where the problem is now, which means we are taking things for granted, Prabhuji, sometimes. How do we come out of that particular, that attitude of taking things for granted?
What we take it for granted?
Anything. And so, like, for example, where Srila Prabhupada said, no, everybody sees the two-handed form of the Lord. We see the Lord on the altar. But sometimes the point that we miss is to understand that he is a supreme personality of Godhead, which means sometimes it complacency or taking things for granted. That he's there, he's standing over there. But in our day-to-day life also, so many times we take things for granted. How do we come out of that particular attitude?
So for that, Prabhupada said that one should hear. One should hear regularly about Krishna. Only then one can give up this consciousness. I'll just share you. Like Prabhupada, he talks about Vigraha and Galagraha. It's here. So there is good opportunity. So we should not think. If we think that here is a stone statue, then it will not prolong many days. It will not Galagraha. Prabhupada said here. So at least we Indians, we are trained up like that. Not only trained up, we are born devotees. Anyone who has taken birth in India, that is special facility. In their previous birth, they had performed many austerities and much austerities. Even the demigods, they desire also to take birth in India to get this opportunity. So India, don't think India means this planet, Bharatavarsha. There is good opportunity. We should not think. If you think that here is stone statue, then it will not prolong many days. It will not Galagraha, no more Vigraha, but Galagraha. Suppose I have established this temple. Now under my direction, my disciples are worshipping Vigraha. Vigraha means the form of the Lord, Rupa. But if there is no following of the regulatory principles, then after my death it will be Galagraha, a burden. That our rascal Guru Maharaj established this temple and we have to worship, rise early in the morning, all botheration. This is called Galagraha, a burden. He has left us with such a burden. This is the risk. Then such a big temple will be mismanaged and you'll find that this breaking and this is unclean and there is no attention. This is called Galagraha. The rascal has given us burden. So Prabhu is very heavy in Vrindavan. Another lecture in Mayapur also he was speaking.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavad Pranams. Thanks for the wonderful class, Prabhu. Can you please explain this Ahang?
Mataji, Prabhu just closing that initial point earlier.
Yeah,
and he can take the question.
taking another
Okay, thank you, Prabhu. I'll wait for that.
No problem, Mataji.
Mayapur. Again, Mayapur it comes in. Previous lecture is in Vrindavan, now it is in Mayapur. Okay. So was here. So this is difficulty that we are not very much interested in hearing. Here's the point I was mentioning. And that is the main business. Our bhakti begins, Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu. We have to hear and we have to speak. But if we are not interested in hearing and speaking, then it will be the same. Thakur Bari, simply formula. That's all. And gradually it will be stopped. Unless there is life of Shravanam Kirtanam, these big buildings, temples will become burden. So if we want to create burden for future, then we may give up this hearing and chanting and sleep very nicely. It will be burden. Galagraha. Not Sri Vigraha, but Galagraha. Galagraha, Sri Vigraha means worshipable deity. So if we give up this Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu, then it will be thought that our Guru Maharaj has given a burden in the neck, Galagraha. That is danger. So we must be very, very alert in Shravanam Kirtanam. Otherwise, all this labor will be futile. This building will be only the nest for the doves and pigeons. See, heavy statement. That is danger. That is being done. Nobody is interested. Such things. So Prabhupada is talking about this in Mayapur. And is very strongly telling that you should continue hearing and chanting. Non-stop kirtan should be happening, he says. Right? Is it clear, Prabhuji?
Yes, Prabhu. Wonderful point.
So that's why Nityam Bhagavad is very important. Those who
Yes.
are not coming for class, you should call them and say, Prabhu, why are you not coming?
Yes, Prabhu.
Either you attend in temple or attend online. You should attend every day. Otherwise, it's burden. Right? Some people think morning class is also burden. Then deities will also become burden. Temple will become burden. Service will become burden. Then you'll be stuck up in this material world.
Yes, certainly, Prabhu. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Wonderful. Mataji, you can proceed with your question.
Thank you, Prabhu. Sorry, Prabhu, for the interruption. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you for the wonderful class, Prabhu. Can you please just explain this Ahangro Pasakam and the other one, Prabhu?
Yeah, considering oneself to be God, that's the Ahangro Pasana.
Okay.
Right? Considering ordinary person to be God, Aham Brahmasmi. Right? Considering oneself, that's my own philosophy. Right? It's called Ahangro Pasana.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Another is worshipping everything as God. It's also wrong. But we worship Bhagavan, Supreme Lord Krishna as Supreme Lord. That is correct.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
You can read 9th chapter of Gita, Mataji. There Krishna says. He talks about these three points of worshippers. Right? Ekatvena pratatvena bhavada vishnu. Then he talks about bhakta with the fourth category. He talks about the 9th chapter.
Yes, thank you.
Prabhu, I had one more doubt, Prabhu. Prabhu,
Yes.
you said he brought the vision of Arjuna lower to see Virat Rupa. Does it mean he already had spiritual eyes?
Yes, he was seeing Krishna face to face.
And he had realized it.
Yeah, he already had spiritual. Premanjana he had.
So heavenly vision doesn't realize that, Prabhu.
Yeah, heavenly vision can't help us to see Krishna. You may see Krishna, but you may not understand his God. Isn't it? To understand, many people saw Krishna. Duryodhana saw, right? Dushasana saw, Dronacharya saw. So many people saw, but only few could understand Krishna's real glory. Because those who had the ointment of love in their eyes, they could see.
Yes. So Arjuna already had spiritual eyes, and so he will not be able to see the universal form. Okay. Yes, Prabhu. Thank you, sir.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam. Prabhu, thanks for the wonderful class, such an informative class, Prabhuji. The same thing, what Mataji asked, that I was about to ask that question. Anyway, you answered that this one. But one still I have the doubt here is, Arjuna, even he says that before I could see this form, I was not able to understand you. I was calling you by different names. And, he was like, he didn't have that conception that he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He says that I was like, sleeping with you. I used to call you by singular names and other things. So that means he didn't have that type of understanding before that. Only after seeing that, only he came to have that understanding. Correct.
Sakheti matva prasabham yaduktam he Krishna he Yadava he Sakheti ajanata mahimanam tavedam maya pramadat pranena vapi. Right? He's saying, what thinking gives you to be my friend? Right? I used to call you, hey Krishna, come here. Hey Yadava, hey Sakha. I used to address you so casually. Ajanata, not knowing your mahima. Maya pramadat pranena vapi. Sort of madness or out of madness. And pranay means actually out of love. I used to address you like this. Please, 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 kshamyatam. Please forgive me, he says. Tarchamaye tvam aham aprameyam. So actually this verse talks about Arjuna being an intimate Sakhyarasa. In Sakhyarasa, one doesn't think that Krishna is God. One thinks he's my friend. So it's beyond Aishwarya Jnana. Right? Aishwarya Jnana, one thinks God is great, I am his servant. But in Sakhyarasa, it's beyond Aishwarya. So he thinks that God is my friend. And he climbs on Krishna's shoulder. Gopals in Vrindavan climb on Krishna's shoulder. They defeat him, they eat with him, on the same plate, they play. So they don't have the knowledge of Krishna's Aishwarya. Right? So, but now because Krishna is giving this Aishwarya Pradarshana to Arjuna, Arjuna comes down to the Aishwarya platform. Then he recalls, Hari, I offended you. I behaved casually with you. Sorry. Please forgive me. Please forgive me. Then he says, I'm not attracted to this form anymore. Arjuna says it's very ghastly figure. Please, come back to your original form. Soumya Vapum. Then Krishna removes the universal form darshan, becomes 400, then 200. Then says Sachetaha Prakritim Gataha. And Arjuna feels, no, I become, okay, now I'm happy. Because Prakritim Gata means he comes back to his Sakhyarasa. Right? He comes back to his original Swarupa. Then he hands Krishna, I like this form now, 200 form. Right? Not even 400 form, but 200 form. So because he was naturally attracted to Krishna in Sakhyarasa. So because he was shown Aishwarya, like same thing happened with Yashoda Mata. Yashoda Mata is in Vatsalya. So she considers Krishna as a son. But when Krishna showed Brahmanda in the mouth, oh, you are Narayana, Supreme Lord, she started offering prayers and obeisances, and then Krishna didn't like it. So then he covered her with Maya. Then Yashoda Maya again become poor. Say, oh, you must be hungry, come home, we'll take milk. So in this way, Arjuna is already in Sakya. Are you able to understand, bro?
Yes, Prabhu. Very nice explanation. Yes, Prabhu. Thank you so much.
So if you want to understand this, you read Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. He explains very nicely. In Bhakti Shastri, we discuss this. So we can go through that section.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, I just want a clarification. Whatever Saraswati Mataji was telling that in the Vishwarupa Darshana, universal form, Arjuna sees the universal form, but he is always he's such a great devotee. He is very happy with the two-handed form of Krishna. So this universal form is for him very less, no Prabhu?
Yeah.
Very lower.
Universal form is not attractive for him. See, he sees, but he's not attracted. Then he says, okay, come back to original form Krishna. Similarly, devotees also should not get attracted to this universe. People see beautiful, they go to hill station, they'll go to Ooty, take selfies with the mountains and clouds. They'll go to different places for tourism. What's the use? Right? So there is no use because the universal form, it's temporary beauty, isn't it? Already Krishna is there standing in his Tribhanga Lalita form. It is original beauty. But not being attracted to original beauty of Krishna, one gets attracted to this temporary material beauty of this world. It means he is not advanced. He still wants to do sightseeing. No? So advanced devotee means he likes to see only Krishna, nothing else. He knows this whole world is Krishna's energy, but he is attracted to Shyam Sundar Krishna.
Prabhu, this Virat Rupa and Vishwarupa, some say it is same, some say it is different. Can you just clarify that doubt?
Slight difference. Virat Rupa is to imagine all the planets as the body of the Lord. Right? Bhubado Yasyanavi Surya Chandroscha Netre, right? The Pada is the earthly plane, and sun and the moon are his eyes, and then like this. Imagining Satyaloka is his head, and so rivers are his veins, and mountains are his bones, like this. Imagining the universe to be Lord's form, and using this universe as a dharanashraya, an object of meditation, object of dharana in the mind. So that's called Virata Rupa, which is elaborately described in second canto beginning Srimad Bhagavatam and third canto also. It's Virata Rupa. And Vishwarupa is nothing but Krishna showing all the opulences in one place. In the 10th chapter, Vibhuti Yoga, Krishna showed all his opulences. I am the intelligence among the intelligent. I am the lion among the animals. I am Himalaya in the mountains. I am Indra among devatas. So he showed everything in one place. So that's called Vishwarupa Darshan.
Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Okay. Hare Krishna. Okay, I think we should end. Shri Balaji Guru.
Yes, Prabhuji. I'm so sorry. I was about to unmute. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, once again for the wonderful class. And devotees, we'll end the session here. Prabhuji, tomorrow, do we have any class from the temple, Prabhuji? Is there a plan?
Tomorrow and day after tomorrow, Krishnananda Prabhu will be here. He'll give in class.
So 8 o'clock, no, Prabhuji?
8 o'clock.
So devotees, please make a note of that. Tomorrow, we'll stream from the temple at 8 o'clock in the morning.
And Thursday, Friday, mostly is there Sudhamana Prabhu.
It will only for tomorrow, or is it till the weekend?
Right, I'm telling you. Tuesday, Wednesday, Krishnanand Prabhu. And Thursday, Friday, Sudhama Prabhu. And Saturday, Sunday, Chaitanya Charan Prabhu. So he got many. Chaitanya Charan Prabhu invited. So Prabhu is coming. Then other preachers were around and they're coming. So they're in Bangalore already. So they are giving classes.
Wonderful.
So next 6 days we'll have association of senior devotees. So those who can come physically, they can attend in temple. Attend in Zoom. Okay. Take care.
Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. I'll end the session of with Vaishnava pranams. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha. Kripa sindhubhye
Nidanam
vachpaditanam
bhavana.
Vaishnavibhyo namah. Anandakoti Vaishnavrinda ki jai.
Jai.
Vishnu Thakur Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Thank you all. Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, there was no class yesterday, no Prabhu?
No, yesterday Sunday feast was not there, Mataji, but we had Prabhupada's class just for few devotees who were there in the temple.
Recorded one you played.
Recorded. That was chapter 1, canto 8, text 26. Kunti Maharani's prayers. Janma Ishwara Shruti Shibir. That month. Prabhupada's class.